Here in the West, they treat their horses and horsepower very seriously, but perhaps nowhere else in Alberta is a horsepower treated with more seriousness than right here at Race City Speedway in Calgary, Alberta, where the thunder of thousands of horses is going to be unleashed on this half-mile oval very shortly. Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Paulson, along with my colleague Paul Chater, here to bring you more excitement from Canada's richest showroom stock racing series. This week, we're at Race City Speedway, and it's Western Series action in the 1989 Players Limited GM Motorsport Series. Well, the Western crowds are arriving in great numbers here. Even though it's Stampede Week, it's the rubber-shod, steel-bodied horses these fans want to see. You know, for most of the season, these series drivers do battle on road courses, but once a year, for variety, they decide to go to some oval racing as well, and that requires some very different skills and car setups and so on. Now, instead of trying, left and right turns, it's left turns all the way. The idea is to get up to speed, find yourself a groove, try to stay in that. In other words, the big word here is smooth. Many drivers break with the left foot in an oval race, and drafting, getting right on the tail of a leading car and letting him push through the wind until you can slingshot by, is much more important on a track like this. Tire pressures are critical too, because much of the downforce is on the inside tires, especially the front left. And this will be a 50-lap race, so that pit action just may be a factor before we're through today. And no matter what happens or where, we'll be right there to bring you the entire high-speed story. And speaking of high speed, here are some drivers you want to watch for today. Bill Grossus, you've got the pole. You were 6th fastest in qualifying. Now, does that throw you off a little bit? You're up in the front row.
Well, I've never been here before, so it's a new experience for me. So all I'm going to try and do is drive a calm race, be smooth, and not make any errors. I think if I don't make any errors, with the field so tight, the other guys may have a tough time getting around me. If I make an error, they may get a chance to get by.
For CKNW and Kermac Collision, please welcome from Coquitlam, BC, Ian McIntosh.
This track's a little tough to pass on, so if you can start at the front and be good and hold the car in line, you can have a pretty good race.
Are you telling me that Mr. McIntosh may be wide here today on this start?
Well, not technically.
Are you looking forward to it, though?
I sure am.
And Cal Tire, please welcome from Williams Lake, BC, Trevor Siebert.
Oh, I'm fortunate enough to be leading the series and the rookie standings, and if I could hold on to that, that would be great.
You'd take both, would you?
Oh, you bet, I'd take both.
Tell me about the series and your impressions on it in year one.
Well, it's definitely a very competitive series. I really like the drivers that I'm with. Everybody seems to get along real well. And it's a very challenging series, and I think there's a lot of publicity there for me, and that's, I'm after a lot of that for sure.
From Port Coquitlam for Motomaster and Flag Chevrolet Oldsmobile, please welcome Frank Allers.
Well, you get a real feeling of being enclosed here. There's cars all around you, and there's a wall around you. You can't really break free and get away, so you have to contend with drivers all the time around you. A small mistake can just turn into a huge deficit.
Number 35, hailing from Edmonton, Alberta, here's Kevin Dowler.
Time for the Mohawk Oil presentation of the Fastest Qualifier Award. And, in fact, Donald O'Connor is here, our Vice President of Supply and Manufacturing with Mohawk. And it's Kevin Dowler who gets that honor at Calgary. Don?
Well, it's Kevin's first time, and congratulations being the top qualifier, and good luck in the race.
Thanks, Don.
Hey, you can wear this cap proudly. Yeah. And look at that. We got a pole position on the oval at Calgary. Probably the best spot to be, Kevin.
Yeah, it is. I was surprised to get there. Everyone was, thought we'd be in the middle of the pack, but now we're in the front. We'll be there at the end.
I think you're shaking up some of the veterans this year with this attack in '89. You're doing a good job.
Yeah, they know we're there.
You're going for this championship, right?
That's right. We want to run in Saint-Jovie.
Hey, Kevin Dowler, off to a good start here in Calgary.
Car number 88, ladies and gentlemen, the Motomaster and Flag Chef. Here's Tony Moros.
Oh, well, Jim, the thing is that there's some really young guys in the series. Yeah. And they feel very embarrassed getting beaten by an old guy. So I thought, beginning of the year, dog it a little bit, and then come up to peak at the end. Yeah, right. And that's basically the way we've been doing it, so look for big things to come.
Representing STP, Lee Barrett Collision and Jack Carter Chevrolet Oldsmobile, the number 79 car of Wade Lee.
Well, it's going to be tough. We didn't have such a good qualifying yesterday. We had a little problem with the car. The rear end wasn't sticking as well as I'd hoped. I think we got it figured out last night. It's going to be a tough run from 12th to the front on the oval. It's a tight track, but yeah, we're going to give it a good shot.
Flag Chevrolet Oldsmobile, who incidentally sponsors 6 different cars in the Players GM. Gerald Haddad, car number 11.
Any special approach, any attack that you have planned for today, Cheryl?
Yes, I pray a lot.
And good luck with that.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Well, the top qualifiers for today's race are Bill Drossos, Ian McIntosh. They're in the front row. Trevor Siebert, Frank Allers, you'll find them in row 2. And the 2 fast guys in qualifying, Orville Murchie and Kevin Dowler, back in that 3rd row. As you know by now, to keep this series as competitive as possible, the top 6 qualifiers are inverted. So the man who is on the pole was actually 6th fastest in qualifying, and that means the drivers behind him are very, very fast indeed. And over 50 laps, anything can happen. We'll be back at Calgary Race City Speedway for the start of the Players Limited GM Motorsport West Series right after this. Welcome back to Players Limited GM Motorsport West Series action at the Race City Speedway Oval in Calgary, Alberta. The scoreboard is ready to flash car positions to the many fans here today, and the drivers are ready too, so this should be a good one. The driver introductions are complete, and our competitors heading onto the track, forming up behind the pace car. Now, let's go to Paul Chater for the starting lineup.
There's number 35, Kevin Dowler, our fastest qualifier, but starting in 6th, thanks to the inverted grid used in Players Limited GM racing. Here comes the field heading for a final warm-up lap. You know, Kevin Dowler may have been the fastest qualifier, but all 20 starters qualified within 0.8 of a second of each other. Kevin's qualifying lap was 20.076 seconds, and Rick Moore, number 6 in 20th place, qualified at 21.057 seconds. So you know this is going to be a tight one. Following the pace car now, it's heading off on the back straightaway. The pace car's off. Now it's up to the front row guys, number 27, Bill Drossos, and number 24, Ian McIntosh, to keep the field in shape for the start. Here's Jim.
Oh, into the thunder as behind me the cars approach the start-finish line. Out of corner 4, there's the green! And 22 Chevy IROCs and Pontiac Firebirds screaming past us into lap 1 of 50 to come.
And already Trevor Siebert has blown past Drossos and McIntosh from his 3rd place grid position to put his number 9 Norberg Cal Tire Camaro into 1st. On board with Murray Craig, number 55, having a little bumping problem there through the turn. And it's a real dogfight behind our leader with number 24, Ian McIntosh, being pushed very hard by number 38, Orville Murchie, who has moved up from 5th on the grid. On board now with Wade Lee in car number 79. We can see all the cars diving into the turn, searching for any groove, some of them running very high, and one car getting sideways, getting pushed far to the outside. One of the Motomaster cars, that's number 1, reigning champion, Frank Allers, getting very sideways as the cars came in contact through turn 4. Back now with 2nd place, that's number 24, Ian McIntosh in 2nd, while our leader, number 9, Siebert, is pulling out ahead as the rest of the cars battle for position. Number 24, Ian McIntosh, was 9th overall in last year's series and is looking good here, although Murchie keeps chewing at his tail. On board now with number 13, Andy Mahood, who's chasing one of the Motomaster cars, getting sideways onto the infield. Car number 77 gets back onto the road. Andy has to do some fine driving to avoid that as they charge down into the turn, and he'll pick up one more position. Trevor Siebert, number 9, in the lead, is considered a rookie in this series, but he's had plenty of hobby stock racing experiences on ovals just like this, and it's beginning to show today. There's post number 38 up on the inside. Murchie trying to have a run at McIntosh and bumps him, throws him sideways. Number 24, Ian McIntosh, stalled in the middle of the circuit. Andy Mahood slips by on the inside, and we've got another incident coming out at turn 4. Cars up against the wall. Mahood manages to get through that. That's Murray Craig, number 55, who's off the road onto the grass. He's looking in his mirrors now, trying to find a way back onto the circuit, and there's the yellow flag out. Let's have a look at what happened. There's McIntosh, number 24, being bumped by Murchie as he tried to go down on the inside. Cars streaming by. It was lucky McIntosh didn't get tagged there in that incident. The pace car now on the circuit has got a full course yellow. Let's have a look at it from Murray Craig's standpoint. Car number 55, you can see he's trying to avoid some cars. He gets bumped, thrown down onto the infield across the exit to the pit road, but he gets back on the circuit. Already plenty of action for this big crowd, and we've only just begun. Trevor Siebert, number 9, out front as they charge down towards the green flag, and the race is on once again. Trevor Siebert in the lead in car number 9. Number 35, Kevin Dowler in second place. In third spot, number 88, Tony Morris. And Jim had an opportunity to speak to Trevor Siebert earlier today.
Well, at the beginning of the year, before I started the road courses, I thought, well, the Oval's going to be, the place for me to be. But after the first couple of road course races, I did quite well. I can't do much better here, but I definitely do feel at home here.
Trevor Siebert continues to lead as the field begins to string out around this half-mile oval. 50 laps altogether, 25 miles. Doesn't sound like a lot of racing, but believe me, these guys will be very, very tired when the checkered flag drops. Number 35, Kevin Dowler, was our fastest qualifier, so he's going to be hard to shake in second place. Kevin also has roots in oval racing, and that experience is bound to help this afternoon. Most Players Limited GM Motorsport Series racers see an oval only once a year, and for many, it's a relatively traumatic experience. And Tony Morris is one of those drivers not fond of oval track racing.
The guys who actually joined the series that are oval drivers are getting their opportunity. And I think that's very fair. And I'll run the oval because of that. Because the guys came in, they said, there's an oval race, we've got a chance there, and we'll see them today. And I think that's really good.
And yet, Tony Morris is proving he knows how to handle the oval. He's now in third. Here's Jim at trackside.
Well, it's still Trevor Siebert ahead of Kevin Dowler, and the old veteran Tony Morris sitting back in third place. We've had all sorts of action already in Calgary, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Welcome back to Calgary's Race City Speedway and Players Limited GM Motorsport Series action on this half-mile oval track. Still in first place, the series rookie sensation, number 9, Trevor Siebert. In second place, number 35, Kevin Dowler. And sitting in third spot, the graying fox, number 88, Tony Morris. Now Siebert is having to cut his way through some of the slower traffic. That's going to be the deciding factor on this half-mile track. The driver who can get through the traffic the best will come out ahead. It's going to be a difficult task. There are always cars around. It's not easy to pass here. Inside, Wade Lee's car, number 79. He's currently in 7th place and battling with number 1, Frank Allers. As they dive down into the turn, Lee decides to go low on the inside. Allers hanging on to his groove on the outside and just can't hang on long enough. And Wade Lee moves up into 6th spot, pushing Allers back into 7th. In 5th place, number 13, Andy Mahood. Andy started his racing career in small formula cars on road circuits, so driving the big iron around an oval track must be quite a different experience for him. There's number 79, Wade Lee. Wade is pushing Andy Mahood very hard for that 5th place position after Lee managed to get by Frank Allers in car number 1. Now inside Lee's car, number 79, we can see him pushing Andy Mahood down the straightaway, looking for an opening on the outside, up close to the wall. Mahood gets on the brakes. Wade Lee decides to take an outside line through the turn. He's going to try to squeak by, but has he got enough speed? These cars are very evenly matched, and he just can't do it. He's going to run side by side into turn 1, right beside Wade Lee. You can see them almost rubbing fenders inside Mahood's car now. Number 13, he's trying to hold off the challenge from Wade Lee down the straightaway, and Lee gets the better of him on the outside, dives into the turn, and cuts him off. Another position now for Wade Lee. He's bumped Andy Mahood back to 6th place in car number 13. But Mahood has to have his eyes glued on his mirrors now with car number 1, the reigning series champion, Frank Allers, and the Motomaster Camaro right behind him. Well, Allers' teammate, Tony Morris, number 88, is in 3rd spot. There's John Simonson, number 8, currently a solid 4th place. Meanwhile, our leader, Trevor Siebert, is still firmly in command of this race. Siebert picking his way through some of the slower traffic. So far, he's handling it extremely well, but Kevin Dowler has set himself solidly in Siebert's mirrors. The rookie will have lots to think about from here on in. Inside with Murray Craig as he goes a lap down to the leader, number 9, Trevor Siebert. A dangerous time of the race for the leader as he's got to expertly weave his way past the slower cars. He's got to count on them seeing him in their mirrors. He's about to put Gerald Haddad now another lap down as we come down to the closing laps of this race. Kevin Dowler, meanwhile, in car number 35, is losing some time trying to get through a back marker. That's all to the advantage of this man in car number 9, Trevor Siebert. Now past Gerald Haddad, and he puts him a lap down. Kevin Dowler is in 2nd place, Tony Morris running 3rd, John Simonson in 4th, Wade Lee in 5th, and Andy Mahood running in 6th spot. And the leader, number 9, trying to find a way around number 5, Don Cherwoniak. The Williams Lake, BC driver is hoping Don is paying attention to his mirrors and will do the gentlemanly thing when the pass attempt comes. A point in the race when Siebert has to be careful about passing slower cars, but he's still got to keep in mind that Kevin Dowler in car number 35 isn't too far behind him. Inside with Wade Lee now in car number 79. He's having a good battle in 5th place and is all over number 8, John Simonson, in 4th. Lee has driven brilliantly to improve 6 places from his starting position, and he's making Simonson work to keep in 4th spot. Both Simonson and Lee trying to go around number 55, Murray Craig. Simonson gets around without any problem. There goes Wade Lee in car number 79, and he's also put Murray Craig a further lap down. Tremendous fight going for 4th and 5th spot here between Simonson and Lee as they head into turn 1. Lee gets a little sideways as he tries to keep up with Simonson. Back with the leader, Trevor Siebert in car number 9. Dowler, number 35, running in 2nd. Tony Morris, number 88, is running in 3rd spot. Now down to Jim Paulson.
Well, here at trackside, Paul, still a beautiful show for Trevor Siebert in Calgary, but look at this fight for 4th place. It has been a marvelous battle that is certainly maintaining our attention here, and we'll be back with more action from trackside in a moment.
Hello again and welcome back to Race City Speedway in Calgary and Players Limited GM Motorsport Western Series Oval Racing excitement. Still in 1st, as he has been since lap 1, Series rookie phenomenon Trevor Siebert, number 9. In 2nd, number 35, Kevin Dowler. 3rd, number 88, Tony Morris. 4th and hanging on for dear life, number 8, John Simonson. 5th and pushing hard, number 79, Wade Lee. 6th, number 13, Andy Mahood. And in 7th spot, 88 Series champion, number 1, Frank Allers. But Trevor Siebert remains the class of this very classy field. So far, he's driven a perfect tactical race, jumping into the lead from the number 3 grid position, finding the quick groove, and maintaining consistently fast lap times that allowed him to hold a slight lead. Now inside with Murray Craig in car number 55, we can see how busy this traffic really is this late in the race. Trevor Siebert still holding on to 1st place, dealing deftly with traffic on this short, tight track where one error may well be your last error of the day. And even though the oval is really foreign territory for most of these drivers, they have handled the changeover extremely well. Kevin Dowler there in car number 35, hanging on into 2nd place inside Rick Moore's car number 6. He's in 20th position. We can see the battle going on in front of him as Dowler tries to pick his way through traffic. The laps are clicking by and time is becoming a factor for Kevin Dowler. He can't afford to lose any more time to car number 9, Trevor Siebert. In Western Series Race 2, also held here at Race City, but on the adjacent road course, the roles were reversed, with Dowler leading Siebert in 2nd and 3rd positions. On the last lap, Siebert passed Dowler, but had a tire knocked off the rim in the process. Siebert finished on a flat tire, barely holding on to 2nd ahead of Rick Payne, who didn't make it to the grid today. Inside with Wade Lee in car number 79, having a run at Simonson this time, going into turn 1. He's got him. Let's go down to Jim Paulson at trackside.
Paul, we had Wade Lee make a beautiful pass on Simonson that time. He moves up a notch. Only about 2 laps remain. Don't go away. This finish is going to be a knockout.
Thank you, Jim. And this man is looking to apply that knockout punch as race leader Trevor Siebert finally gets inside a persistent Carl Haar. With less than 2 laps left, 48 laps ago, Trevor Siebert blew into the lead, and he's been there ever since, driving a consistent and intelligent race, showing maturity and poise for a young driver. And now as he heads through corners 3 and 4, he sees the white flag and knows that only a half mile and 20 seconds stand between him and victory. There's Kevin's brother, Eric Dowler, number 36, not far from being lapped by the leader. From this point, Trevor Siebert should have clear sailing to a well-won victory on this Race City Oval. Into turn 3, no problems. He's not going to try to pass Eric Dowler now. He's going to wait for the best sight in racing. Here comes the checkered flag for car number 9, Trevor Siebert. Number 35, Kevin Dowler in 2nd, 88, Tony Morris 3rd, 79, Wade Lee, a well-deserved 4th, number 8, John Simonson in 5th, and in 6th, Frank Allers. Their scoreboard tells it all as Trevor Siebert moves to his place of honor in front of the thousands of appreciative fans here. And here he is, the remarkable young driver from Williams Lake, BC, being congratulated by Martin Shenhall of General Motors and Race Series Director Alan Chapman. Now down to Jim with our race winner.
Well, even Kevin was just over here a moment ago to congratulate you, Trevor, on a marvelous run here today in Calgary.
Well, yeah, it was a great run. Real good racing out there.
What happened off the start here? You finally got in front, and that was it.
Well, it was either going to go two ways. Either I was going to get behind or I was going to get in front. It wasn't. I didn't think there'd be a freight train there, and they went wide, and I got in there. I was lucky.
I don't think Kevin really even challenged you today, did he?
Yeah, he did. He was definitely there. He was close enough. He was in striking range, and we caught up to the slower traffic, and boy, I had to go through him or else. He was definitely there.
Is that the moment where your eyes are flying everywhere out there?
Yeah, pretty much. You're looking in all three mirrors at the same time.
Trevor Siebert, our winner here in Calgary.
Here are the final standings from round number 3 of our Western Series. Now let's go down to the presentations in Victory Lane.
Thank you very much, Paul. I'd like to thank the fans for your support. I'd like to thank General Motors, who have done a great job in providing all of the IROCs and Firebirds for this very fine series. They're great people to work with. Martin, I thank you very much. I'd like to also thank our other co-sponsors, Mohawk Oil and Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. They do a great job in supporting this series as well.
Here are the current point standings now for the Western Series following today's race, number 3. Now let's go back down to the presentation stand.
Trophies to our third, second, and first place drivers. Here is the Director of Motorsport for General Motors of Canada, Mr. Martin Chenhall.
Certainly, we want to thank the fans also on behalf of General Motors, GM Motorsport, for coming out and supporting our series today. Also, our friends from Players, from Mohawk Oil, and our friends from Goodyear Tire, who do such a great job of putting the skins on those cars. It was a great show. I think the drivers, the crews, and the dealers all put on a tremendous show for us here today. We'd like to thank them, but most especially thank you for coming out and watching it. It makes it all worthwhile.
Thank you very much, Martin. And now let's honor our fastest 3 drivers today here at the Oval. We'll ask Martin Chenhall to present the trophies. In third place, from Port Moody, BC, veteran Tony Morrison in the flagship old number 88 car. Tony.
A great drive for the Western Series senior racer, Tony Morris.
In second place, from Edmonton, Alberta, Kevin Dowler. Great ride.
Another solid performance from Rising Series star Kevin Dowler.
And the winner is going to take home a check for $6,000, a rookie this year in the Players GM Motorsport Series, and a great run today from Williams Lake, BC, Trevor Siebert.
Well, if there was ever any doubt, Trevor Siebert has truly served notice. He'll be tough to beat anywhere, anytime this season. Now to Jim.
Well, the district manager for Goodyear in Alberta, Mr. Gord Atkinson, is standing by. Time to honor our mid-race leader. Gord?
Thank you very much. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank Trevor very much for a super race. And we'd also like to award you with a set of Eagle Gatorback tires. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, we can always use those after a run like today, Trevor.
Yeah, that's for sure. I was just commenting before the race started there. One of our tires got damaged on the car, and just before we went out, we put an old one on, and it worked well for us, so they're good tires.
He'll be well shod for the next run in this series. Next up in the Players Limited GM Motorsport Series, we take you back east on the streets of Toronto for the Molson Indy. Some of that Western crowd will be there. We hope you will, too.
Yeah, they seem to like the body contact out there, but we'll be ready for them in Toronto now, the Molson Indy.
Last time we drove the cars across. This time we're taking a tractor trailer, so we don't really care about jacking the cars back into the trailer, so it'll be much better, I promise you.
With me and Frank and Tony going out, and I hear that there's a couple other Western guys that might be going out, yeah, I think we'll give them a good shot.
With more practice time, I think they'll have to contend with us out there a little stronger than they had before.
So you're going to blow them away?
Basically, yeah.